Bet. All right, everybody. Give us some time. Give me some time. Just sharing this class out real quick. Uh, sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe as well. All right, IHVK Philadelphia on all platforms. We on all platforms. If it's a platform, we on it. Just give me 2 seconds. All right. All right, let's clap it up. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's the IHBK. Started out at 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Teaching the truth since 1969. We are uncommanded giving honor. We're here to teach the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American the truth of the Bible. My name is Nakar, Officer 1000, stationed here in Philadelphia. All right, tonight's biblical law class, and tonight, and we're going to get into just understanding and knowing that you are an Israelite. Okay. Right now, in the world, there's so much going on. I mean, if you name it, it's happening. War, hatred, right? Violence, drug use, miseducation, the whole nine, right? All of these things is happening. And these things is happening because the real Jews is not in power. All right. The real Jews, who is the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we are not in power. We are not ruling the earth. The real Jews, right, have compassion. The real Jews have love. And if you look at the spirit on Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, look at the spirit that we hold. No one has more compassion than Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You point a Black, Hispanic, Native American out, you'll see compassion, you'll see love, right? But I know out there, it's this whole notion that we are so low of a people, that we're so evil. No, we only appear to be a certain way that's far from decency and in order is because we are slaves here in America. We are slaves in the Caribbeans. We are slaves anywhere we dwell at on the face of the earth. If you look at any country that Blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans dwell, we are slaves. Now, some of you might say, well, we not on plantations. We can get a passport and up and go. What you going to do if you sit up there and you go home and now ICE is at your door telling you to get the hell out of the country? Go ask the Hispanics that are citizens here what they're going through, right? Who you pay taxes to. You know you can't control your taxes. You know who's also recognizing that? Regular white people. They voted for Donald Trump. So stupid of them to do that. They thought that Donald Trump was about to be the great white hope, sir. Salagia. They felt like Donald Trump was going to make all their problems go away, right? The whole time, Donald Trump is destroying their country. They thought that everything was going to be peaches and cream. No. They got to pay taxes, and they tax dollars is going to Israel. White people don't want their money to go to Israel. They starting to wake up and see, dang, maybe I don't really have all the power that they make me feel like I do have. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we don't have true power. True power? True power? You can be Chinese in America. You can be here legally. And they won't touch a hair on your head. When the whole time they're putting terrorists on your country back at home. Right? They are sending threats to your country, but they won't touch it. They won't do a thing about it because they know if they touch you as a Chinese man or woman, they're going to have hell to pay. Every Black, Hispanic, Native American, if you Black, Hispanic, Native American, take this class into your soul. If I could, sir, can I get Deuteronomy 7:6?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6.
Yep.
For thou art an holy people.
God said that we are a holy people. Meaning what? Meaning that we are not supposed to behave like these other races of people. We're not supposed to serve their gods. We're not supposed to be sinners like them. When you look at the murders that happen, the black on black crime, the Hispanic on Hispanic crime in our communities, you have to see that we're not getting that from us. We're getting it from other people. We look at white people and we see them selling drugs. We see them being the mobsters. We're seeing on the big screen how they depict our people as criminals. You know, I'm going to tell you how psychological that is. Other countries believe all black people do is shoot people and kill people and do drugs. That's what they think we are. So when you see them being real hesitant around you, like a foreigner be hesitant around you, they are afraid of you. They really want you to get out of their store. They want your money and they want you to get out because they've been taught that black people are crazy. Whole time, the white man is crazy. The white man is deranged, right? They're the criminal of the earth. But they would have men you think and other people think that that's all we are. We're greater than that. God said that we are holy people. We got to be able to indulge in this Bible. The Lord said, eat this roll, meaning take on the identity of Christ, man. Take on the identity of your ancestors. Take on and put on the armor of the Lord. You don't have to be like everybody else. I see everybody else out here. Everybody want to get high. Everybody want to get massively drunk. You know what I mean, and destroy themselves. I see everybody want to go get a gun and go shoot up somebody. They want to op. These young guys out here literally don't have no enemies and would try to find an enemy so that they can feel cool. You know what that tells me? That enough righteousness is not being shown. These young men want to be something greater than themselves. They want to be something great. Today, I was at McDonald's with my kids, right? You know, I was waiting for my power to get back on in my house. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, let me take the kids to McDonald's. We can sit down in there. And I got a 3-year-old and I have an almost 1-year-old. Now, my 1-year-old is crazy as hell. My 3-year-old is very energetic. If y'all know Zakar, y'all know he's super energetic. My kids sat there, well behaved. I seen at least like 5 or 6 young men, had to be like between 10, 11, 12, come in the store and have no respect, no home training. Cursing up a storm. Got the security guy sitting there stressed out because he like, yo, man, y'all gonna make me not allow y'all back in the store. And the young man, he was Muslim, the ringleader. And I was ready to ask him. I said, well, ain't you Muslim? Ain't you supposed to be behaving better than this? But I said, I'm not going to say that. Because Islam don't teach you anything. The young man cursed a little bit too much on my taste. Salaki, sir. I said, hey, listen. Watch what you saying out your mouth. I got kids right here. He said, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Like, that's what we need to be on. Because that's holy. That's righteous. We sit around and just tell everybody, don't judge, don't mind your business. F that. Get in the business of our people. Because that's what it means to be holy. I can't sit there and watch you self-destruct. That I would be basically saying I don't love God. I'm watching you self-destruct. Why would I let my brother or my sister self-destruct? If it was up to me, I would sit them young kids down and talk to them. But I know I got certain boundaries that's set. But we got to be able, us adults, have to be able to understand this Bible. Understand that this Bible is telling us that we're more than just a nigga. that we more than just a wetback, that we more than just a spit, that we more than just a baby daddy or a baby mama, right? We more than just a black person, more than just a Puerto Rican, we more than just a Native American, that we something greater than all of those things, that we are from the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what God said in the Bible, sir. We can read it one more time, sir.
Come. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
He told us, man, yo, y'all are special people, man. No, nobody on the face of the earth got the blessing. Nobody on the face of this earth got these laws. Don't know. I never talked to none of these other people. You think I'm gonna go over there and go talk to Becky? You think I'm gonna go talk to Brad? You think I'm gonna go talk to Muhammad and all of them? Hell no. I'm coming to talk to you. You black, Hispanic, Native American. I'm coming to talk to you. God hears our tears, man. You understand? It broke my heart, man. I seen some Hispanic brothers walking in the back of the school. You know, they was going their way. I said, hey, man, what's up, man? What's going on? I said, F ICE. I ain't say F. I said the real word. They couldn't understand me. I said, damn. That's how they split us up. They give us different languages, give us different identities. If I was able to speak Spanish, they would have understood. They were like, hell yeah. Because I understand the pain that our Hispanic brothers and sisters is going through. That's your brother, that's your sister. You should have compassion. Your heart should go out to them. When you pray, you should be praying for our Hispanic brothers and sisters. Just don't pray for your family. Just don't pray for yourself. Pray for our Hispanic brothers and sisters. Pray for our Black and Native American brothers and sisters. Because, you think that this is something the Native Americans been getting wiped out for the longest, getting their land stripped from them. They want to dig, they want to go invest into that pipeline. They want to get some commercial and industrial buildings built up. They're going to take it away from the Native Americans, either they like it or not. They're going to put people on the boards of these Native American tribes so that they can be able to get away with murder. Native Americans going through it. But we don't understand that because it's not of our interest. It's not of our interest. Our interest is worrying about me, worrying about how I feel, worrying about my desire, worrying about my lust. That's where we at with it now. And we wonder why the community is the way it is, because we're selfish. That's not holy. Don't the scriptures say that love your brother as you love yourself? You're supposed to love that other person, man. That's of your bloodline, man. Love your brother, love your sister. It's not that hard. That's what being an Israelite is all about. Brotherhood, sisterhood, unity. If I could, sir. Can I get a couple verses above where on verse 3? I'm gonna show you how much God is wanting us to be holy. There ain't nothing wrong with loving your own. Nothing wrong. I walk in the street, I'm out and about. I see a brother, I see a sister. I do that right there. What's going on? Because that's showing love. And you know what? Some people, they need love. Think about how many people out here. Man, I seen this woman. Well, she had at least like 4 kids. You know what I mean? Inside that McDonald's. And I was like, damn. Like, it seemed like she on hard times, but her kids is smiling. You get what I'm saying? Her kids smiling. That's like, we go through so much stuff, man. We go through so much hell on the face of this earth. That's why the priest is here. That's why the Most High sent us. You think God don't hear our prayers? The ISBK is not here for no reason. Listen, man, we can be at home taking care of our own businesses, right? Sir, you know me. If I can work 24 hours a day, I would. You know what I'm saying? If I can do this all day, I would. And if I was able to go make money all day, I would too. But we dedicate our lives to being in the service of the people. We don't care. Saturdays, hey, I ain't gonna be able to go out on Friday night. I can't go out all crazy the night before. You know what I mean? Everybody else can though, who's not in the truth. They can go out, have fun. Now I ain't saying we don't have fun on Friday nights. I ain't saying that. But what I am saying is we have to be understanding and not be selfish. That's like if me and Overseer Diet, we go out the night before camp, you know, and we get super drunk. How are we gonna go to camp the next day? Right? We get a bunch of job opportunities in here. Guess what? We make the sacrifice to make sure that we can go do our duties in the school. Right? We make sure, man, that's gonna take away from me doing the work of the Lord. I'm all right. Obviously, he died and told me plenty of times. He said, "Yo, this job want me, but the schedule." Me too. I had an opportunity to go work at a real good place a couple years ago. I mean, that would have put me in the game a little earlier. I said, "What's the schedule?" Nah, forget it. My homeboy's looking at me like, "Man, you got to get this up." Yes, I care about the Lord, you know what I mean, and serving my people more than some, you know what I mean, there's money. And that's the whole point of loving your people. That's the whole point. God wants us to love one another. So when you see your brother and when you see your sister out in the street, either they poor, rich, or in between, show them respect. Show love to them. I ain't telling you to go and give hugs to everybody, but if y'all looking at each other past, you know how black people is. Sometimes we might look in a certain direction and we get like it's like a standoff. You know what I do? I used to be one of them guys that I stare at you because I was institutionalized just like everybody else. And so I realized reading this Bible, I said, why I gotta do all that? Dude, I just shake my head. You know what I mean? What's up, man? What's going on with you? I mean, be safe out here, brother. Keep it moving. We gotta show love to one another. It's different. You know what I mean? It's definitely different what I'm saying here tonight and what the IGBK teaches, but this is what we need. You know, we got to put away the foolishness. We got to put away the childish ways, right? When we look inside the community, look at who we lay down with, right? Who you marry. Your child, we should be teaching our children, man, love your people so much that you will never lay down and marry another race of people. You should never go marry a white girl or marry a white man. You know, you should never go outside of our nation. You should choose between those blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people to be with. And I'm gonna show you right here in the Bible, if you could, sir. Deuteronomy 7:3.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his son.
Look, so the Lord is saying, he said, listen, man, I don't care what you do. Just make sure, you know what I mean, you get you a sister out of the nation of Israel. Don't you ever go bring home a white woman. Y'all ever had, your parents ever told you, said, you better not bring the white girl back in this house? Your parents ever told you that, sir?
The phrase my father and mother told me was, if you can't use your comb, don't bring her home.
Let's get that in. I mean, now Latinas, that don't mean that, you know, we can still use that same comb. Don't get it. Hey. But listen, I get it. You know what I mean? And that's wisdom, man. That's dropping game down on your kids. That's what we gotta teach our sons and our daughters. I had a conversation earlier with somebody online, right? And it was a post with this sister. She was upset that her man was on the other side of town taking care of another woman, right? I guess it was his side girl, whatever. And she was just mad. And she I guess she just had a baby for him, and she was just mad because he lied about it. And I simply said, look, you shouldn't lie to your woman. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't lie to your woman. You should let your woman know that she's sharing you. You know what I mean? Like, you got another woman, and let it go from there. Now, I don't know if she was white or she got like a skin issue. I think she a white woman though. I ain't gonna lie, but she tried to tell me that he should just stay single if he can't be monogamous. Now, me understanding this truth, right? Not taking on the identity of the white man and what he pushes. I said, listen, man, I'm not monogamous, I'm polygamous. That's my God-given right. As long as that man doing what he needs to do for his family, right? He shouldn't be lying. He should be making sure, because she was saying that she ain't had no food. He should make sure that her other wife had food too. You get what I'm saying? He should be having his thing situated. I said, you can't tell me what I'm wrong for doing. And I asked, I said, do you have the same energy for gay people? And she couldn't answer that. She couldn't answer it. Why? Because she know that gay people is okay in her book. Right? But a man exercising his God-given right is wrong. See, when you look at marriage, we look at marriage through the lens of a white person, right? But marriage is a real unity that should not be broken, and you should keep it holy. So when the Most High was telling you, don't go marry into these other nations of people, right? And then when you read the verses down where we just left from, where it says to be holy, right? Meaning we can't look at our marriages how the white man look at their marriages. We got to treat our marriages holy. You get what I'm saying? That's why I said that brother was wrong. Look, you lying to her. You should tell her the truth. You lying saying that you going to work. Brother, you're not going to work. You get what I'm saying? She having issues, you having issues in that house. You should make sure that house is right too. Now that's a whole nother story, because I believe you ain't in the UPK. You shouldn't be having multiple nothing. You get what I'm saying? But that's another story for another time. But the way how God said you had to marry it's supposed to be holy as well. It's supposed to be of our stock. Period. You get me? All right, sir. If I could, can I get Deuteronomy chapter 27:1? Public show.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 1. And Moses with all the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
So God said, look, Moses, go tell the nation of Israel to keep the commandments. Teach them how not to be sinners. Teach them to take away all the foolishness that they learned up in Egypt. Because when you take on the identity of these other nations, you look like an idiot. Why do you think these people, men nowadays, is walking around gay as hell? They shouldn't be gay. Young men should be warriors, not gay. Not taking it up the behind. That's not what they should be doing. They shouldn't be. I heard somebody. I'm gonna tell you how bad it is, sir. I know you're gonna be like, we might need a drink after this one. I seen a video where it's supposed to be this trend where people say, yeah, I have tickets for a Ja Rule concert. And they said, tell your friend you got a ticket to a Ja Rule concert and if they trying to go. The two sisters asked their homeboy who is gay. He said, huh? I'm not about to go to that. Any straight man, you understand, that is of age would say, hell yeah. You get what I'm saying? You gonna take your girl. Oh, you gonna hear that? What's that joint? How that joint go? Whatever. Yo, you know how that joint come on? Well, you want me to join with your girl? Like, yeah. That's some man thing to do. You get me? Like, that's what we're supposed to do. But them brothers are so gay. They just like, ew, yucky. I don't want to go to that. Somebody in the comments, man, shout out to that brother. He said, that ain't for them. He said, that's okay. They rather go to a Saucy Santana. He said they better go to a Saucy Santana concert. He said, ain't no road there. We just gonna go to that Ja Rule concert without them there. Listen, we gotta get back to the basics, man. Okay. That's why we pick up this Bible when we read it. We do these classes every day because, yo, it's bad out here, man. We hearing what y'all sisters talking about, what y'all going through. Obviously, your diet and told me the sisters he had to counsel. You understand, where they court they man in the act. It's crazy out here, and that's what Moses was trying to purge from us. He was trying to purge us from being drug addicts and drug dealers, being alcoholics, beating on our wives. Niggas was beating on their wives. It was to the point where it was like, yo, listen, man, we're going to get a bill of divorcement. Because think about it. We in Egypt. We slaves. We getting treated the wrong way, the craziest ways, right? Don't you think a drink is going to help you feel better? Now imagine you going through horror, you understand, in slavery, and you got that drink and you get more and you get more. You're going to drown yourself. We're going to adapt to the Egyptians' way of life, right? So now, yeah, we're going to beat our wives. Wives is going to want to fight their husbands, right? Children is not going to behave correctly. We're going to follow after their gods. And that's what we was doing. Even when we was on our way to Israel, right, to Jerusalem, we was doing all types of nut stuff, man. We was praying to go. We was making golden calves and praying to it. We just seen the Lord open up the Red Sea. We seen the Lord bring down manna, bring down food from heaven. You know what I mean? We seen the Lord help us in battle. And we so damn stupid. We said, man, we want to go serve the golden calf. Man, we want to go back to Egypt. Moses' job was really hard. And his job was the same job that the men of the Lord in the IGBK have. And that,
I'll interrupt you. The scripture says Moses and the elders of Israel, meaning Moses had men under him. You got to make it there was a rank structure. Moses was over everybody at the time, and he had brothers under him, and they commanded the people. The same way on how we command, you got to meet Israel now here in the Israelite school UBK. What you're saying is so heavy, and why, we saw all that. We saw the Red Sea be split. We saw our enemies fall and die by the hand of our God. Yeah. And as soon as time got a little rough, bitch, I'm divorcing you. Yeah. Brother, you ain't this, I'm leaving. Mm-hmm. Oh, the kids ain't this. Oh, we don't want to go in the land. There's giants over there. They got great reputation. Who they? And it's only two niggas, Joshua and Caleb, the only ones that want to roll up in there. That's why a whole generation had to pass over. That's why the Lord had to get rid of a whole generation of your brothers and sisters and raise up a new generation. We are doing that now, but the problem is now you don't want to let that old self die, so you can be reborn into a new brother or sister and keep these commandments. Yeah. If it wasn't for Christ, you wouldn't even have this opportunity to do so. We'd be done.
Yeah, facts. Let's get Christ in here for that. Ain't you? You know what I'm saying? To bring that out. Like, if it wasn't for Christ, we wouldn't be able to be here teaching you today. It would be pointless. You know what I mean? It would be we wouldn't even understand the truth if you know what I mean if it wasn't for Christ. Because his sacrifice will give us grace and give us a time period, you know what I mean, to be able to redeem ourselves. At one point in time, you couldn't try to redeem yourself the way how we had to do it today. That's why we in the grace period. We're gonna get into that a little bit more, but to get back to it, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27:1, Bubba Shaw, sir, if you could read.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27 and verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
Keep all the commandments. Keep all of them. Don't keep some, the ones that you feel more comfortable with. The Bible is not a religious book. Get it out your head. They don't got nothing to do with Islam or Christianity. The Bible has everything to do with you being an Israelite and you upholding your oath that your forefathers done swore by the Lord. Being able to understand that we are in the covenant with the Most High, man. And that it is our job to represent him on the face of the earth. That's what it is. It don't matter if you believe it in this truth or not. You're going to pay the price no matter what. Look at what we're going through now. Black people moved to the suburbs. What happened to black people when they moved to the suburbs? They get pulled over just like niggas in the hood do. They face racism just like they do in the hood, even a little bit more because of the environment that you in. It doesn't matter how far you try to go away, you're going to face oppression. You're going to face these curses until you free yourself from sin. All right. Can I get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1, sir? Bubba Shaw.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
He said, do all his commandments. Let me tell you something. In the city of Philadelphia alone, if we was to keep the commandments of God, we will not see overdoses happen. We won't see murders happen in the city, right? We'll see things change overnight because we will do the things that God said to do. We'll see a difference in our children and how they come up because we're no longer being a bad example to those kids. We're going to see relationships actually last because we'll put away the foolish things. We'll see brothers actually forgive one another. That's hating your brother is a sin, right? These wars that's happening in the streets is pointless because if you talk to some of these young guys that's locked up right now, that was beefing on the outside, they done clicked up already in the inside. And they'll tell you, yo, man, it's that beef ain't about nothing, man. Like when you in here, it's a whole different world. Well, we got to make sure that this world that's out here makes sense. What makes sense is brothers can't hate one another, man. You can't be ready to go kill your own brother. You can't be ready to go, start a beef with your brother. That's your brother, either you like it or not. That's your brother. And y'all, because we share the same bloodline. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. When we keep these commandments of God, we will see our sisters be in a way better headspace than what they are today. But when we look at what the pastor done taught us, the pastor done taught us and the imams done taught us, the Muslim mosque, Islam and Christianity, the Catholic Church done taught us, hey man, you don't have to keep the whole law. You don't have to keep the law. God knows your heart. As long as you're drowned in the blood of Jesus, whatever the bull crap that they be talking about. You know, as long as you covered in the blood of Jesus, you know, that's good. And you done got baptized and ate a cracker and drunk some grape juice. Now you're forgiven of all things, and you can still be a homosexual. You can still go be a drug addict. You still can be a whore. You still can be a pimp. You still can beat on your wife. You still can teach your children how to hate their father. You think that you can still do that and serve the Lord? You got to be kidding me. You got to change. And that's what keeping the commandments does. If I could, sir, you keep reading.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
It said that he want to set us above all the nations on the face of the earth. That's a good thing. Tell you why, Donald Trump don't need to be in power. Look what he's doing to our people. Look what he's doing to our Hispanic brothers and sisters. Look at what Donald Trump is doing to his own people. If it was a black, Hispanic, Native American in office, guarantee you that I'm talking about that's come from the Lord. That wouldn't happen. If Christ was in rulership on the earth right now, you wouldn't have to worry about the things that you have to worry about today. And I'm talking about just on an equal scale. If Christ was in rulership, you know what I mean? It didn't have to go to a certain way how it's supposed to happen once Christ returned. Let's say Christ was here and he was ruling the nations, right? Everybody had their own space. Other nations, as long as they don't, you know, bark up the wrong damn tree, they will get assistance. They wouldn't have to worry about nothing. They will live amongst us and be treated as an equal. They wouldn't have to go through the things that people had to go through now. And that's because when the wicked rule, the people are in mourning. But when the righteous rule, everybody will rejoice. There's no reason why, like, how can you be, this is what sickens me, right? Donald Trump has deported children that came to America to fight their cancer. He said, get the hell out of my country. What did that child do to get kicked out? You can't say that they're a criminal. They came here legally. The only conclusion that it is that he hates the children of Israel. Let that would have been a Jewish person. He would kiss their feet in a hospital room. But because he thinks that he can destroy us, he thinks that he can bully us. Well, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Today is the fake Jews, the Israelis, bomb Syria. Israel don't give a damn about what Donald Trump says. They said, man, forget you. We're going to bomb whoever, and you're going to back our play. May I had to remind you who's your daddy. You ever heard about the puppet masters? Who do you think is the puppet master? I tell white people all the time, America is not yours. It's an illusion. Y'all don't run stuff. You being utilized by Jewish people. Jewish people run America. They infiltrated you. They infiltrate anywhere they dwell at. They infiltrate. Look at they run mass media. The fake Jews run mass media. You wonder why with all they think that they white people was so mad at television because they was pushing this whole gay thing, and they were, oh, it's the liberals. Whole time it's the Jewish man. He runs the networks, so he's going to put all the sex and all the homosexuality. He's the one that putting the drugs. He's the ones that is behind the music industry. But here they go. Oh yeah, man, it's the liberals. Yeah. See, the gay people. Whole time, the gay people was being backed by Jewish people. And now, all of a sudden, because Donald Trump didn't show his true hand, I don't like the Jewish people now. I don't like them. God forbid. I just laugh because the true Jews are black, and the world is starting to understand it more and more each and every day. It doesn't matter what you say. It don't matter how much you try to hide the truth now. You can't hide it no more because the Lord then exposed it. The Lord got us on TV. Shout out to the generals and Captain Tazariot. Got us on big TV, cutting all the people that people thought was the smart guys. Man, watch this, man. I'm going to try to get us on that damn Jubilee station. We're going to get on that Jubilee, sir. I'm going to get us on there. I'm going to figure out how to get it. You know what I mean? I'm going to find out. I might got to go on LinkedIn, all that, brother. I don't know. You feel me? I was like, I'm going to find out. We're going to get on these damn networks, goddammit. Because it's time. It's time, dog. It's time for us to take this world over, man. You know what I mean? Of course, through Christ, you know what I mean? Through the mercy of the Lord will send back Christ to redeem us, man, to free us from these other nations. But we could, so we can keep reading on verse 1. We can start from the top if you want.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
So the Lord wants you to be able to look at the laws. He wants you to be able to understand them. All right. He wants you to be able to comprehend what's being said so you can make the right decisions and the right choices in life. Right. That's why it's important to be in class. That's why it's important to study so that you can be able to identify Satan when he comes, where you can be able to maneuver out here in the world, right? So that you won't get yourself in a jam. Me coming into this school, I understood why it was so important for me to stop getting high. So now I don't smoke no more, right? I don't become a drunkard where I get drunk and now I'm doing dumb stuff, right? Because one, I understand that will upset the Lord. Right. Two, I understand that I'm endorsing drug dealers, right? I'm paying this money to this drug dealer. I'm saying pretty much, hey, I want you to keep selling drugs. I want you to be in power. I want you to be over me. I want you to destroy my life and other people's lives if I give that man or that sister that money for them drugs, right? Me also understanding that, hey, I have people that look up to me, people that observe me. Why would I want my kids to watch me getting high, right? Why would I want my kids to be around weed? Why would I want my kids to see me being a drunk, beating on their mother and cursing their mother out, right? Seeing me falling all down around the house with my pants down to my ankles, embarrassing myself, throwing up everywhere, crying and all. Why would I want my kids to see that? That's the power of keeping the commandments of God. You'll be a good role model among your children, right? To your wife and to your peers and to everybody else in the world. Like when the people in the IHBK, when people, somebody might walk up and they might see us, they know what we do. They know what we're about. They know that we're Israelites. People would put out that cigarette. People will put out that blunt. You know what I mean? They might have a cup in their hand. Like, I know I ain't supposed to be drinking this. We'd tell them, nah, that's cool. You can drink it. Ain't no problem. As long as you ain't out here making a fool of yourself. They feel ashamed when they doing sin and they around us. And that's a good thing. Shame is not always bad. Sometimes shame can be good. And that's what we, what's the best way to say it? That's what They said the kids nowadays say aura. That's what our aura embraces, you to change, right? Our aura, I can't believe I'm saying this word, but we enforce you to do better. We enforce you to understand that you should keep the commandments of God. So yeah, when people around us, they put out that weed, they put out that cigarette. You know, they, oh, my fault, man. I know I should be doing this, right? That's because they know that we teach to keep the commandments of God. A pastor get disrespected every damn Sunday. Sunday, women come to church looking like whores, looking like the same outfit that they had on the night before. They come to church with that outfit on. I seen women getting high on live before they went to church. On live, then showed everybody her outfit before she even put it on. Yeah, I'm about to put this on. Skimpy behind dress. She's smoking, doing her hair, talking about, yeah, I'm about to go to church. No. And ISBK, people don't do that. Now, you might come in here high, whatever. Eventually, you're going to understand. Let me not never do that again, because we would know that you high, and we'd tell you how evil it is without even telling it to you directly. We're just going to a bunch of scriptures so you not getting high. Like, getting high is the most idiot thing that you can do in your life, because you're destroying your mind. The brain is a precious thing to waste, man. You want to always make sure your mind is sharp. And that's why God said, Yahweh, he said, always study, observe, understand why we must keep these commandments. And that's why you got to teach your children how to keep the commandments and how to keep them, right? You might be 16, 15. You're in high school now. You want girlfriends. You should be teaching your son, you know you can't bring no white girl back home, right? You better not bring no white girl, no Chinese girl, no East Indian, no African. You better not never bring that back home. You damn sure no Arab, nothing. It better be a black, Hispanic, or Native American. She better be West Indian, African American, Haitian, you understand, or Hispanic, Native American. You better not bring nothing else back home. And that goes for your daughters too. That's another thing. Understand that just because you in high school and you grown into a man or you grown into a woman, that you should engage in sex with somebody. Because sex is a responsibility. That's why the parents in the Bible, you were the father was in charge of who you marry. Listen, a sister will be 25 years old. The father will be like, he'll look at her daughter. She like, Dad, I want to marry her. He'll look at his daughter. He'll be like, you ain't ready. Because he know she's not mentally there to marry another man. She still got a lot to learn. A man's role in his family is important. And that's why here in ISBK, we teach you from, if we can get you in this school from a little young boy and raise you up. Well, we didn't see brothers come in here, they're like 16, 15, you know what I mean? Grew up. Now the brother got a wife, kids, you know what I mean? Got a nice house and taking care of you. Like, dang, all right, brother, I see you. You know what I mean? Doing this thing. Wife look happy, kids look happy. And he knows that he got to manage that relationship. He got to manage his children, right? Knowing that he got to teach his kids these commandments, making sure that his wife understands these commandments. Because guess what? When the mother and the father is in unison in the truth, I'm trying to tell you, it takes a lot of load off your back. You get what I'm saying? Like, you listen. It's good when your man or your wife is on the same page as you. Look, we're gonna serve the Lord, right? Because guess what? Now your kids don't have to keep these pagan holidays.
Right.
Like Christmas is evil, Thanksgiving is evil, birthdays is evil, 4th of July is evil, memorials and Labor Day, all of that is evil. But these high holy days that's in the Bible, the Passover, the Feast of First Fruits, right? So on and so on, keeping the Sabbath, that's things that the Lord said that we can keep. Now, you teach your children to keep those commandments, right? Keeping the Passover, guess what? Your kids now are going to grow up and they're going to understand something totally different. So now when they in school, they like, yeah, Pops and my mom said, you know, not to jump the gun when it comes to laying down with somebody because, dang, I don't celebrate these pagan holidays. They celebrate it. I'm not trying to sit up there and tie myself into this person. These people don't even think the way I think. You know what I'm saying? They don't, man, we young as hell. We don't even know about paying bills yet. Dang, like they're gonna understand it. That's why you got to be able to teach your kids, and teaching your kids this. You know, like Most High said, man, keep these commandments and observe them. All right. And it said, I command thee this day that the Lord, that God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. God wants you, Black, Hispanic, Native American woman, to be on top of everybody else on the face of the earth. He wants you to rule. And there's nothing wrong with that. The white man rule, we don't see a problem with that. Right? We don't see a problem with that at all. We need the rule. We need Black leaders. We need Hispanic and Native American leaders on the earth. We need our sisters to stop being the whores. We need our brothers to stop being drug addicts and chasing whores all the goddamn time. We got to be righteous, because when we righteous, these are things that happen. If we could, sir, we can go to verse 2.
And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
God, the Most High, Yahweh said, listen, man, if you do what I tell you to do, you will be blessed. If you keep these commandments, you will be blessed. This is the thing. This is why religion is false. Because they're going to tell you, yeah, God knows your heart. You can do it this way. You can find God that way. No, you can only find God one way. And those that are sincere, the Most High would definitely approach you. And the ISBK, man, we've been here since 1969. There's no way in the world you can say that you ain't never hear about you being an Israelite. You can't say that, oh, I don't know who the ISBK is. Bull crap. You know who he is. We outside. Right? Let's keep going, sir. Verse 3. Sure.
Verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city.
Uh-huh.
And blessed shalt thou be in the field.
Man, blessed shall we be in the city. Man, we're not blessed in the city. We're not blessed in the field. Right? Look at our cities, man. Look at our towns. Look at what you see. You go out on the street in the hood, man. You see people on drugs. You see people hating one another. Right? You see crimes happening. Drug addicts everywhere. You see poverty. We not blessed. How the hell are we blessed? That ain't no blessing. That's a curse. So what we reading right here is the agreement that the Most High has with the nation of Israel. If we do good, we get good. If we do bad, we get bad. So everything that I'm reading is the blessings. On the other side of that coin is the curses. And that's what we're going through till this day. So as I'm reading this, just understand the flip side of this, that we will not be safe in the cities, and we won't be safe in the fields. If we could, sir, keep going.
Come. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep.
So when it comes down to our children, when it comes down to our cattle, when it comes down to our fruit, everything, the whole nine, all of it is going to be cursed if we don't keep the commandments of God. But we do keep the commandments of God, our children will be blessed. The things that we put into the soil will be blessed. Look at what we eat today. You can't even really grow real food the way you want to nowadays because the seeds is modified. You go ask black farmers when they try to go and grow they crops, they'll tell you they give us fake seeds. White supremacy get real when it comes to agriculture. Go look it up. People talking about racism don't exist. Is you kidding me? Black farmers around the world in America is going through it each and every day because the white man don't want the black man to thrive. Because they know, man, that black man and that black woman, you know, they get that joint rocking and rolling, they will put us out of business. Well, they hinder their business, right? They threaten them. They also been taking people's land, strong arming them, going through all types of loopholes so that they can build on their land or take over that land so that they can make more money off of that land than them. Right? Our children is cursed in the city, man. Our children, look at our children today. Again, I told you, when I was out, I went to McDonald's with my kids. Young boys came in there disrespectful. Showed me that at home, they not being taught the right things. Because my kids don't come off like that. When my kids not around me and they out and about, my kids is well-mannered. You know, they might be a little energetic at times, you know, but my kids know we can't act like that. I'm taking that curse from out of my house. Now, as for you, you got to ask yourself, is you doing the same thing? As Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, are we doing that as a people? Hell no. We leading these kids down the wrong path. Oh, you want to turn up? You want to pop your vagina every goddamn day? You want to go chase at the hoes every damn day? You don't want to take care of your kids? You want to live your best life. Now, guess what? You don't sit down and breathe life into them kids. You don't teach your kids about their identity. You look at us Israelites like we damn crazy and that we wrong, but you go home and don't teach your kids anything. So now your kids don't have no identity. And now they go into a world that is heavily influenced. And now your kid, you wonder why your son is sucking rod. You understand? Your daughter is running away from home. Your daughter is running away from home because she wanted to be a whore just like you. This is real truth. But if we don't think like leaders, we don't be good examples. That's the truth. So many people, they get mad at my delivery, sir. Oh, why would you say that? Why would you call the kid that? Because that's the reality. We got to deal with reality that these young bulls is dying in the streets. They're dying because we don't understand this Bible. We don't understand it. Right here it's telling you that if we don't keep the commandments of God, our children will be cursed. The fruit of our body. You're a grown-ass individual. I gotta talk to you. I gotta talk to you like this. Because if I don't, then who the hell gonna talk to you? You up there getting high around your damn kids. Your kids is all around weed smoke. Your kids know that you had different men in that crib all the damn time. That you go out every damn weekend. You dropping the kids off to grandma. They know that you up there chasing after all the hoes, bro. You sit up there and don't take care of your damn kids. And then we go turn on the news. I go on Instagram. Hey, obviously died. Shoot, you see this young boy? They said young boy shut up the whole neighborhood. 70 rounds. Young boy get locked up. A bunch of people dead. Because you didn't teach your kid wisdom. Didn't give your kids knowledge. You didn't change yourself. That's why the Lord said, look, if you don't keep these commandments, hey, your children are going to be cursed. You ain't going to be able to grow the crops the way how you used to. Now, look at the watermelon. Watermelon, you got to find the real watermelon with the black seeds. Because, again, they gave the farmers the genetically modified seeds that now the fruit lacks the nutrients. Because these fruits and vegetables is supposed to keep us healthy, keep us alive, help us be able to fight diseases in our body. We wonder why we go and look in the hospital records and see all these people with cancer. Because they tainted the food, man. Because the wicked rule. That's why the Lord, what he's doing on the face of the earth, man, it's going to be a time where we can only depend on us. It's getting to that point. If we could, sir, keep reading.
Go.
I think it was verse 5.
Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Yeah, so when it comes to black businesses, black entrepreneurship, it's starting to get a little better, but it's not where it should be, right? If you look in the black Hispanic Native American neighborhood, you see white people making all the money. You see Chinese people and Arabs and East Indians and Africans making all the money when it should be you. And when black people go into business, half of the time, black people don't even make good business investments, or we make a business move, and then we don't even know how to conduct the business. I give you a prime example. I'm throwing a cheap shot. Sisters in Philly that do hair, y'all need to get it together. Am I wrong, sir? We all know how y'all conduct business. Unprofessional, you know what I mean? It's just hard working with y'all. I even heard about Atlanta. I heard Atlanta, when it comes to the black business in the hair industry, it's an issue and a problem. That's because it's a curse. It should be black people should be able to get black hair products. So whatever black person make hair products, we should be able to get it from them. If when it comes down to us getting our hair done, we should be able to just get our hair done like that, easy, right? When it comes down to the neighborhood stores, there's no reason why black people can't own, the stores that these other people own. But see how we was given the underhand. America funds these heathens, right? These other nations of people, the Chinese, the Arabs, the East Indians, right? These Africans that come into our neighborhood. They tell them personally, go to the hood and open up a store. Go open up a store. Here goes some money so you can start. And you're going to make a lot of money from doing that. Don't hire the black people, though, because they will, remember I said earlier, they spread a false narrative about us, saying that we're criminals. So now these people, they don't like us. They set up in our neighborhoods, and it takes away from our black dollar. Martin Luther King sold us out. We were supposed to thrive off of our blackness, off of our businesses. And right now, SEPTA been rumored of going on strike. They want more money. They want a better contract. SEPTA is ran by white people, right? Imagine if we still had those black bus companies, right? If we had them black bus companies, we will be able to thrive. All right, SEPTA want to go on strike? Let me go up in there. Let me go ahead and let me take their business. Because when Martin Luther King orchestrated that boycott, man, they made so much money off of the black carpool. They made a lot of money because people was able to, they had buses, they had cars, vans, the whole nine, picking people up, dropping them off home, right? Hey, you don't got the money now, pay me at the end of the week. When you get your check, boom, 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 boom. Easy, right? When it came down to the black restaurants, Martin Luther King wanted us to be able to go eat at white establishments. I worked in the food industry for years. You should never want to eat food from somebody that don't like you, especially knowing the circumstances in the South when it came to white people, right? Crazy. Martin Luther King sold us out. He wanted us to integrate. Us integrating, we were gentrified. White people was able to take away our jobs because, we want to have your jobs. We want to work with you. Look at the Negro Leagues baseball. Jackie Robinson sold us out. Jackie Robinson is made as this martyr. He's this good guy in history. He's a good guy for white people. Jackie Robinson should have stayed in the Negro Leagues. The Negro Leagues would have eventually outsold the MLB. Because if you look at you got to sell tickets. All right, boom, you sell tickets. Now you got vendors. Now those vendors, they making money. In baseball, I think it's how many games a year? Like over 100 games? Over 100 games. So that means that year round, you making bank. That means that you make that money there. The people that sell t-shirts, food, the whole nine, memorabilia, all of that, they making money. Now they can use that money to go open up a store. Now they get to open up that store. Now they can make chains. And now guess what? The black community is thriving off of just one sport because we keep it in-house, the Negro Leagues. And you know who would have followed up right after soon? Our Hispanic brothers. You know what I mean? All the Dominicans, they would have been like, hey, I want to get down to the Negro Leagues. You know what I mean? Hey, they would have all came to us. Who want to watch it? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to watch a game with all white people. Why do you think hockey, nobody watch hockey? You notice nobody watch hockey for real? At all. Nobody watch hockey unless their city is actually in the playoffs and it looked like they might get to the Stanley Cup. But when it comes to baseball, people watch baseball. You want to know why? Because Hispanics is in there and the Hispanics dominate baseball. Nobody don't want to watch all white people playing football. It's black people playing football. It's a thing where they say you cannot have white cornerbacks. If you got a white cornerback on the outside, you are losing your darn mind because them white boys is going to get their ankles took. I ain't recognized until the Eagles drafted a cornerback, a white cornerback. They said, I don't know. He a white boy. When we was talking about it, I was like, I don't know. He got white ankles. Come on, man. Black football. Imagine black football, we Negro Leagues. Boom. We would have been thriving in money. It would have been to the point where America would have to just start blowing up everything. You know what I mean? They would have to just blow up the smithereens because we'd be more richer than them. And at one point in time in history, the black community was thriving more than the white community. I think that was like around the 40s and 50s.
What's heavy about what you're saying and why what you break it down is heavy. In Deuteronomy 28 and 1 through 7 is talking about if we obey the Most High, the blessings that we will get, that we'll be blessed in our cities. And the only way we're going to be blessed is if we serve the Lord. When you drop down to 15 on down, that's specifically talking about the curses. A curse shall thou be in the city, curse shall thou be in the field, curse shall be thy basket in thy store. That's why no matter what business adventure we want to go into, no matter what we try to do with Black Wall Street or the different Black Wall Street that we had in different cities, because during the Great Depression, when white people's economy fell, our economy was booming like Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And white people saw that and came and bombed it and destroyed it. There are multiple Black Wall Streets in North Carolina, Oklahoma, down in Texas, Atlanta, in South Carolina. And the oppressor came and got rid of that. Why? Because we're not doing what our God said to do. That if we keep these commandments, we come to life. But if we leave it, we die. That's Root 401. And what's heavy about what you were saying in particular is why these commandments are important. Because if you're not even just the 30s and 40s, like you were saying, you know, you go down to the 50s and 60s with Martin Luther King, everything that we try without our God fails. And that should be the equation that every Black and Latino should know. That when we try to do something without having our God and our King in the midst and not doing what they said to do, just be prepared to fail. And just be prepared to let heathens rule over us. Here in the Israelite school of UBK, we tired of heathens rule. That's why the Lord said his prophet back at 69.
Yeah. Most on Christ, sir. If we could, I want to go to verse 36 real quick. Deuteronomy 28. Because what you, it kind of aligns to what you had said. If you could read it, sir.
Verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee.
It said that, if I could real quick, it said, we set this king over us. So to our Hispanic brothers and sisters, to our Black brothers and sisters, we done set this king, Donald Trump, over us, right? We done felt like Donald Trump. I heard so many people saying, yeah, Donald Trump, man, he's going to get us out of the jam. You know, he's going to do way good for us. You know, a lot of our Hispanic brothers and sisters, they felt like Donald Trump was going to save them from being deported and save them from, you know, being counted amongst, you know, Hispanics that was coming here illegally, quote unquote. You know, they felt like, no, if I vote for Donald Trump, you know, I'm being American. If we could, sir, let's keep reading.
Which neither thy fathers have known, and thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone.
We serve wood and stone, man. So we set this king over us, and we learned that from the Christian church. We learned that method from the Muslim mosque. We learned that from the Catholic Church. God never told us to go to another nation and plead like a bitch. We ain't supposed to be like that. We're supposed to be a nation of people with power and self-dignity. Seeing Hispanics going in front of Donald Trump and praising Donald Trump, and Donald Trump just sitting there looking so, just sitting there, just look at these silly Negroes thinking that I'm about to do something good for them. Wait until they see Project 2025 unroll in front of their face. If we could, sir.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
That's what we became. That's a lot of our Hispanic brothers and sisters. That's what you became. You became a laughing stock. People is on the internet right now laughing at Hispanic people that said that they vote for Donald Trump and sung songs and said that, oh, you know, I mean, I seen Hispanics say some crazy things on the internet that was very distasteful, right? A lot of people supporting Donald Trump, wanted to be so pro-American. Now they are afraid for their life because Donald Trump then gave all this money to ICE and told them any Hispanic you see outside moving or breathing, you better lock them up and throw them out of this country. Go put them in Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz down in Florida. You better send them to El Salvador. You better destroy them, rip them from their families. And that's what's happening today. If I could, sir, can I get verse 48?
Go.
And these are curses. These are the curses. So our people, to just give an overall understanding, our people, we will go, instead of going to the Lord and trusting the Lord and keeping the commandments of God, we'll rather go set somebody over us that's from another nation of people that appears to be stronger than God. Right? We go out of our way to go vote someone to be king over us. And then when they get in office, they don't do nothing for us. Now we just sitting there looking stupid. And then later on, everybody just laughing at us. Look at when Biden got into office. Joe Biden got in office. Joe Biden said, if you ain't black, if you vote for me. And then he went in office and did nothing for black people. Donald Trump, right, said that he was going to protect, Hispanic people that was documented in America. That was a lie. He's destroying families, the whole nine. Even the people that he knows on paper was actually helping him on his campaign that he paid money to. He paid them money and was like, yeah, you about to get out too. You on the list. So again, understand that when we don't serve the Lord, we punish as a people. So Christianity, they teach you it's okay to be gay. They teach you it's okay for you to eat unclean foods. They teach you that it's okay to keep Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving and all of those other evil holidays. They tell you that those things is good. And, we wonder why we still destroyed as a people. If you could, sir, verse 48.
Verse 48. Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Yeah.
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee.
It said that we will serve our enemies. You know what that means? That means that we got to understand who our enemies are. Right? And it says to understand who your enemies are, it says the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and want of all things. If you need toilet paper, what company you need to go to get toilet paper? If you need your water cut back on, who do you need to go to? If you need electricity, who are you going to go to? You're going to the white man. Right? You want to get a good job, who you got to go to? The white man. And hunger and thirst and nakedness of all things. The clothes that you wear. Who you think is making sure that China can import those clothes here? The white man. Don't never get it screwed. We are slaves here in America. And it says that he'll put a yoke of iron upon our neck, meaning you see old pictures where you will see someone with a yoke of iron around their neck, right? Being carried in chains like this. You understand? And being slaves and used as cattle on the fields. Well, that yoke of iron now is here. And that's why I said earlier, getting high is the dumbest thing that you can do. Because when you get high, you will start believing in anything. I remember I used to get high, man. I used to feel like aliens was around me all the time, just watching me, observing me, because I thought I was so smart. And that's because I was so damn high. You know what I'm saying? I get high and just be looking up like I'm gonna see a UFO and maybe they might abduct me. I used to get so damn high. You know what I'm saying? So lucky. But I had to realize, man, what the hell am I doing getting high? I'm wasting my potential. I could be doing something way better than getting high all goddamn day. You understand? Chasing after females You know what I mean? Wanting to be with this woman and that woman. I had to stop all of that. You know what I mean? Because all of that is foolishness unto the Lord. But understanding that yoke of iron is there on our people, that is a heavy thing to understand. All right. And our enemies put that yoke of iron there. That's why in the book of Ecclesiastes 12:10, it says, never trust your enemies. Your enemies are the ones that run this country, that run the country that you're in. Your enemies are those that are in bed with these other nations. Every other nation is our enemy. We cannot trust none of them. The Lord said not to trust them. The Most High said, trust the priests and prophets of the Lord, man. Trust the people that you tried through the fire, that been tried through the fire, man. That's the ISUBK. This is your family. We your family. We the family that you can trust. I know I can trust people here in the ISUBK. People done lost money, all of that in here. And guess what? They was able to find it the next day. I remember somebody, I think Captain Cesario lost his wallet down south. Guess what? Every dollar in that wallet was there. Every card that was his, the lint that was in the damn wallet, all of that went right back to Captain Cesario, because that's called brotherhood. You can't find that in the church. Good night. You drop your wallet in the church, you're done. You gonna look at your notifications. You're gonna see a bunch of OnlyFans receipts pop up when you're drunk. Who using my card on OnlyFans? Your pastor. Your reverend is using your phone to watch nasty videos and buy prostitutes and buy drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no brotherhood in the church. But when you come serve the Lord, you don't got to worry about those things, man. You understand? Like, Black people, Native Americans, Hispanic people is not your enemy. Now, I'm not saying that everybody is going to be kumbaya and everything. We're going to have issues amongst us. That's cool. But the bigger fight is outside of this nation that we have. You get me? We can keep reading, sir, verse 49.
Come. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flight.
So I wish I had a dollar bill, so I can break it down. The Lord said that he would bring a nation against thee from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. When you look at the nations of white people, they always use the eagle, because the eagle is the top predator of the skies, right? And then if you look into more of the occult of America and their true spirituality, you will find the owl. Now, they worship this owl because at nighttime, the owl is the most vicious and most dangerous bird of the night. Because that owl can look around. It's the top predator of the night, and it's quiet. If you never heard an owl wings flap, listen, you won't hear anything. An owl doesn't make a sound. You understand? And that's the cult of America. They loved that eagle, and they love that owl. They also love the pyramid. Right? And we're going to get into that pyramid a little bit later, representing Egypt, or what they call Freemasonry. All right. America was founded by Freemasons, who were Satanists, known Satanists, right? The whole Washington, D.C. was designed and resembling satanic geometry. That's what we call it, sir. Satanic symbols. You know what I mean? Egyptians, Salaxa.
Gematria, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. America represents ancient Rome and ancient Egypt. That's why in America they took the three branches of government idea from the Romans, because the Romans used to have an issue with power structure. They didn't want one man to have all the power. So they had different branches of government. Every government had their own units. Uh, everybody had their own power. Everybody had their own soldiers, so on and so forth. And America is structured the same way. So it says, "Swift as the eagle flieth." All right, that is a prophecy to show you who will be over us. Okay, in these days of times, right? These curses is also a sign, uh, of the Lord, of who God is actually with. Now, of course, God ain't with us. You know what I'm saying? In a certain sense, if we are being cursed, but who will be the God's chosen people? And we will know God's chosen people uh, by their blessings or their curses. All right. So it says, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Remember, Hispanics didn't speak Spanish. So-called Hispanic people didn't speak Spanish before the Spaniards came. Brazilians didn't speak Portuguese before the Portuguese came, right? Uh, Negroes didn't speak English until white people came, and our Haitian brothers didn't speak, Creole or French before the French came. So this is more of the Lord trying to explain how these curses is going to go, right? And it's important for us to understand these curses because we've been under these curses so much that we don't even know that we really the real Jews. And that's a problem because we should be able to look at one another and be like, yeah, I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. I'm from the tribe of Manasseh. Yeah. My dad Manasseh. Don't look like it, but yeah. You know what I mean? Hey, my dad Issachar. Yeah. I know I look black. I know, I'm a little too light, but listen. You know what I mean? This is my father. Boom, boom. Yeah. We understand who we are. It'll be automatic. You get what I'm saying? It won't be, I wouldn't have to go to black people or Hispanic people and ask them what they are, and they telling me that they are color, that they are a name that a slave master gave them. You get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have to worry about those things if we didn't fall under these curses. All right, verse 50, it says, "A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young." So in slavery, and even up to this day, white people don't have compassion for us. Look at what they're doing to Hispanic children. They are ripping them apart. Look at what they're doing to their parents, ripping them apart. Look at what been documented with Native Americans. They, but when what white people would do, they will unalive the parents, Native American parents, right? Or they'll ship them off into slavery somewhere, and they would keep the kids and put them in boarding schools. In these boarding schools, they'll cut their hair, they'll make them learn English, they'll make them serve the Christianity, right? And they'll beat them, they'll sexually abuse them, the whole nine. The beat and destroy them from the identity that they once had. And over time, that generation will breed a certain slave. And now that next generation, until it bleeds itself out of the identity. So now you got Native Americans that are in the world, but don't understand that, hey, I should be doing the work of the Lord for my people. Hey, I should be teaching my offspring about this, about our identity. They're not doing it because it's been taken away from them. You get what I mean? So when it comes down to just the language barriers that we have as and just a cultural difference. It's all because we got that yoke of iron on our neck, and these people took away our identity. Like when if you was caught on a plantation, if you was caught reading the Bible, you'll get your eyes burnt out. You'll get you'll get your eyes burnt out. You'll get beaten, right? You'll get hung, right? They'll do evil things to you. They didn't care if you was a kid or you was a grown man or woman. They didn't care. Until this day, cops will unalive a kid with a water gun. They know that kid got a water gun, and they would kill that kid because they don't care, right? They'll put a knee on the neck of a grown man that has children, and then they would tell you and me that he died from an overdose. But if I put my knee on their neck for as long as that brother had a knee on his neck, it would have been a problem, right? We got to be able to identify these things that's happening in our community. You understand? And I'm gonna breeze past this real quick. In verse on verse 68, it talks about us being brought into Egypt again with ships, and a lot of people that's hearing about being an Israelite, they're hearing this verse, and this verse is very true, and this verse shows that the people that say they are Jews today are liars, because it says that we'll be brought into Egypt again with ships. White people can't survive in the heat. They can't survive in that sun. They'll burn up. So how can Jewish people ever be in that sun as much as we was, right? They didn't have to go through slavery in Egypt. They wasn't depicted as black people, but when we go through history, you see them as black people. It says that we will not see our homeland again. How come they get to see the homeland? If the true Jews is in mourning, if the real Jews is going through the curses, now how are they able to get back home? Don't make sense, right? And it says that they'll be sold into our enemies. We were sold into our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. It says that, and nobody shall buy you. Nobody should save you. Meaning that America in the relationship with Israel, America saved Israel behind. They came to their rescue. They got them back, and they got them into Israel, where they really don't belong there at all. Goes to show you that they are not the real Jews. You understand? And with that being said, that's my time. Make sure you check in with the ISBK on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. All right. And with that being said, shalom, and pass the class over to the priest and officer. You die.
Priest and officer in the car, strong hands. We are the ISUBK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yohana, rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. You know what I mean? If after 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head. You know what I mean? From the head. They would give permission from the head to marry, tithe, the commandment, the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi, verses 3 through 8 through 10, Ma'ashra, 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase that you get, give to the Treasury Department, priest fund, pre-walking with priest, not mandatory, whatever amount you like to give, up and come a holy convocation will be the memorial, the blowing of the trumpets, which is Sunday, September 21st, 2025. Read about that in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 to 25. Remind all Hakim and Akwab to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start to wear all black, boots, shirt, headband, and scarf. Like that, I advise you to stand. If Israel, let me give the brothers some courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I admonish Shabbat, I admonish Barak, Yahweh, 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 This is your amount to probably your feet at a 45-degree angle, but with your right hand clasped over your left, with your head bowed and covered. May the Israel bless you. Your sisters want to salute. May the Israel bow Shabbat, Adbani, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Matan, Bashim, Yahushua. With that being said, clap.
So I encourage you.